Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. Great, great, great day to be alive. Great week of football. We got Thursday. It's not just Thursday night like it normally is. We got three games. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to my boy BigAL over here. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys watching. If you guys don't celebrate, hey, we'll do the cliche Happy Holidays. There you go. Keep you guys happy.
No, we will
But
not.
oh,
No,
I
we will
just
not.
did. You don't have to. I will. Big Al, how you doing? How you feeling? Thanksgiving's
I am
right.
doing
It's two
great.
days away. We made it.
Literally, dude. It's Thanksgiving, gobble gobble, Turkey Day. You know the game, Pilgrims, Mayflower, the whole 9 yards. It's a great holiday and it's a great football day. And food, family, football. That's what I always say. And I'm rather excited for this slate of games we got for Thanksgiving this year.
One might even say that you're thankful too, not just excited. But
Ooh, okay.
we got a great show for you guys today. Like normally, our Thursday videos are around 10 to 15 minutes, pretty short. We got to cram all three of these videos in, or all three of these games into this video. So it's going to be different atmosphere, different layout. Kind of keep the basics there. We still got the four pick parlays for you guys. We still got how we think games are going to go, spreads, over under, all that. Then we're throwing in 6 point teaser that we normally do on it for our Sunday vids. We're doing it for this. We got three games. We can play around with all of that just like you guys can at home too. And then we got a touchdown parlay for all three of the games, and then we also have a prop parlay for all three of the games just combined. So that's what we're doing for the show. But without further ado, you want to just jump right into it? First game.
I don't see why not, Matt.
All right, sounds good to me. Let's jump into it. First game on the docket is Bears at Lions. Bears are 10.5 point underdogs in this game. Lions favored by 10.5, and the over under is set at 48.5.
Yes, it is. That is an insane number. The Lions have been, I believe, well, they weren't double-digit point favorites against you guys, but they have been massive favorites in the last four games, I think. Like they've been favorite. I think they've been favorites most of the season, but they've been massive favorites the last couple of weeks. 10 points is a lot, but if you guys have watched any of our videos throughout the year, you know I hate the Bears because I'm a Packers fan. I cannot put my money on the Bears. I will not be putting my money on the Bears. So I'm on the Lions minus the 10. They've been just blowing people out, killing everybody. The Lions haven't been. The Lions have been great. The Bears have not been good. So I'm going to keep that trend alive. I'm on the Lions minus the 10. And then as far as an over under, I went back and forth on this one. It's so many points, and we know the Lions are capable of getting there. It's just whether or not the Bears are going to show up and do something. But it is divisional, so I think the Bears can show up and score some points. And they did make it interesting against the Vikings on Sunday. So I think we're going to get an over here. So I'm on the over 48.5, which is the line at DraftKings. I don't love it, but I'm going to just put it down and trust it. And I did that for the last three primetime games, and they all hit. So hopefully this one just continues the trend of like not loving the over, but putting it down anyway and it hitting.
Yeah, no, I get you there. Like we've seen, Lions two games this year scored 50 points. So, the Lions are a
Mm-hmm.
juggernaut of an offense when they play against bad teams. They beat up on the bad teams, and then the good teams, they kind of let the other teams hang around for a while, and then it seems like near the end of the game is when they blow them out of the water. So, but I'm right there with you on the over 48.5. I think that's a lot of points, like you said, but it's also the Lions, one of the hottest teams in football right now. And then you also have the Bears, which we've seen different versions of the Bears. So it kind of depends on which Bears we get. And like you said, it's divisional. I mean, I'm pretty much just copying everything you said, but it's divisional game. Bears have to show up for this game. I think that they will. It's also Thanksgiving. So I love the fact that this game's going to be prime time in the morning. It'll be the start of Thanksgiving. We actually get this game. So love that for this game. And yeah, with the spread, like you said, it's harder too. Like 10.5 points is a ton of points for the Lions to be favored in this game. But I haven't seen enough from the Bears to be able to say that, yeah, they're going to be able to just, walk in there and keep this game close. I think the Lions can still blow them out of the water near the end of the game and win this game by 14.
So your pick is
Lions minus 10.5. Don't love it, but.
and then you're also on the over.
Yep, over as well.
Okay. We are in lockstep with game one. And then how do you want to do this, Matt? You want to just go through all three games, over under spread, or you want to jump into the four pick right now before we head to the next?
I think we keep it all
What do you want to do?
together, just for, for the sake of the video, sake of content,
Okay.
stuff like that. We just keep it all together. Jump into our four pick parlay. It is
Okay.
Thanksgiving, so we're calling this our four must-have side action picks parlay. There you go. There's a mouthful
That's a
for you.
mouthful.
It's a mouthful, but it's our four picks. It's our four favorite side bets on the action because obviously it's like Thanksgiving. You got your main turkey. That's kind of like your main dish, or unless you do ham, you should be doing turkey. But you have your main dish, which is the turkey. You have a bunch of side dishes, side snacks, so that's what we're doing. Obviously, we have the main game. We have our four side picks, the ones that we want the most action out of. So going into that, Al, give me your four must-have sides, snacks, side dishes, whatever for Thanksgiving dinner.
All right, this is gonna get kind of cheesy pretty quick if I tried to in real time because I didn't know you were gonna bring this angle. So if I tried to go to, I'm gonna do my best to do it. But so we got a lot of gravy here with the gravy Gibbs 60 plus rushing yards as my first pick. Then we've got frick, what do I do for this one? We got our sweet potato Swift over here for 50 plus rushing yards. Okay, no big deal. I don't have a good one for C. I guess I got my casserole Caleb for 2 passing touchdowns. That one's a big reach. He hasn't been really good with passing touchdowns, but it's either been no touchdowns. One game he had one. Other than that, he's double digit, or he's double digit. He's into 2 passing touchdowns. So I'm risking it here. Like a casserole Caleb for 2 passing touchdowns. And then for my final pick, I've got DJ Moore, more money, more problems, more gravy, 60 plus receiving yards. And that's my 4 pick parlay. So I got Gibbs for 60 plus rushing, Swift for 50 plus rushing, Caleb Williams 2 passing touchdowns, and then DJ Moore 60 plus receiving yards, which he's done in the last 2 games. This thing pays out plus 800 over on DraftKings.
I couldn't even really focus on your parlay. I was focused more on the names and what you're doing with them. That's
I
crazy
was
because
trying to
I,
get there,
I
man. I
didn't
was
even
trying to get
think
there.
I didn't even think about that at all. I was just saying, hey, what are your four side dishes that you must have for Thanksgiving dinner? Not like, hey,
Oh, I
the
thought you wanted me to
make the
tie those in.
nicknames for the picks. Like that's next level
Okay,
right there.
okay,
I didn't think
okay.
of that. I didn't mean
I was,
that. Like,
hey, you had me going on the fly too. It's crazy.
hey, no, that's
It's
good for
crazy.
being on the fly. But yeah, I was just saying your four must have side dishes, and then we get into the picks.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, do you have
Got it.
four side dishes that you have to have at Thanksgiving? Like your
Oh,
go-tos?
I mean, obviously, you already know turkey, dark meat only. Miss me with the white meat. I'm gonna have mashed potatoes. I'm gonna have gravy. Need the stuffing. And then, I think you end the night with some apple pie with some whipped cream on top. I think that's how you have to do it.
Okay. There you go. I like that. I do. I mean, you like you said, the dark meat only. Miss me with the white meat. Like it's just too dry. You need the dark meat.
It's
It just
only
bends it.
good if it's covered in gravy and potatoes. That's the only way you can get through it.
Yeah, you take the white meat, you throw that in with mashed potatoes and the gravy, and you call it good. Yeah, for me, I got
Yeah.
mac and cheese. Need to have mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is my favorite. Last couple of years haven't had it because I haven't been in charge of Thanksgiving. This year I am. I get to make side dishes. I'm making mac and cheese, of course. I got pickles. I'm a big pickle guy. I'm a big pickle fanatic. If you guys don't know this, now you do. Pickle everything I've had. Like anything, ask me in the comments. Pickle something. I've most likely had it. Pickle soda, pickle candy, all that kind of stuff. So pickles, any type. You can do the sweet, you can do the dill. It doesn't matter. It's Thanksgiving, anything goes. And then we got mashed potatoes, like you mentioned. Mashed potatoes is just a staple. Mixed really well with the
Have
turkey.
to.
Doesn't matter if it's the dark meat, light meat. I didn't throw gravy on there. I don't need gravy if the potatoes are like garlic and butter. Then we're fine. We don't need the gravy. It's a nice addition, but you don't need it. And then last we got Lay's wavy potato chips. There's something about Lay's wavy that's everybody has them at Thanksgiving, and you don't need a dip or anything, and it just brings me back to Thanksgiving every time I have them. So I try to go as long as I can without having them during the year, and then Thanksgiving kind of pig out. But those are my four sides. Now let's get into my side bets for this game. My four pick side pick parlay. We got David Montgomery, anytime touchdown. You guys know me, love touchdowns. David Montgomery's going to score in this game. Then we got Sam Laporta, 40 plus receiving yards, kind of a lot. He's kind of been in a slump this year compared to last year, but we do still like him in this game. National television. It's Thanksgiving. He should have a big game. Give him all the turkey that he wants. Then we got DJ Moore, 5 plus catches. He's the number one out there. Technically the number two because Keenan Allen's been taking a lot of those targets. but I do like DJ Moore to have to be heavily involved in this. Lions run defense is pretty good. I think that they're going to get down early and they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. That means DJ Moore's going to get at least 5 catches, in my opinion. And then last, we got Keenan Allen, other guy, the number 2 there, should be the number 2 at least, 50 plus receiving yards. Keenan Allen had a big week last week. He just does it every week. He's just Mr. Reliable. We saw the same thing when he was on the Chargers. He's just the go-to guy. He's a big receiver. Throw him the ball, he'll get it. That parlay pays out plus 920.
Wow. That's a big one. That's
It
like
is a big one.
full plate. That's a full plate right there.
That's a full plate, dude. We got all the sides on there. We got everything on top of it. And then you're like, oh gosh, I forgot one other thing. So you have to go and get a small plate. We're not doing that here, but sometimes you need that extra plate.
That's true. You do. You do.
But there's game 1. Let's move on to game 2. I'm gonna start this one off for my picks for the game. We got Oh no, it's not the Dolphins, the Packers.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Oh no, I almost jumped the gun right there.
You did too.
Yeah, I know. All right. Second game. Sorry, let's reset. Rewind the tape a little bit. We got Giants at Cowboys. Classic game. Cowboys are playing. It's Thanksgiving. We all know that the Cowboys always play. We got Giants at Cowboys. Giants 3.5-point underdogs. Cowboys minus 3.5. They're the favorites in this game at home. Makes sense. And then over under set at 37.5. Now, we don't know who the starter for the Giants is going to be. I think it's going to be DeVito. I'm not sure if he got injured or not in the last game, but most books don't even have lines for him. So I'm not sure if maybe they're thinking about starting somebody else instead. But I'm going into this thinking it's DeVito. So see, it's tough, but I'm going to go with obviously the home team here. Cowboys minus 3.5. Their team looked terrible last week until the last 6 minutes of the game. I guess the last quarter was good for that game. So, but I like the Cowboys. Hopefully that sparked up something. They can kind of get on a roll here. They're pretty much out of the playoffs. Like at this point, they're done. But they're roasted, kind of like your turkey. If you're gonna roast it, whatever you're gonna do, throw it in the oven. They're cooked. So, but I do like them to maybe spurn a little bit more offense than they had the last couple weeks. Yeah, I mean it should be a good game. And then I also do like the over here at 37.5. I just think that the Giants are going to be able to score a little bit. Like you mentioned to me earlier, Alan, you're probably going to mention it with your picks too. But I mean, both these running defenses suck in this game. So I think it's going to be kind of a slow, boringish game. But there should be touchdowns on both sides because I don't think either of these teams can stop the other team. So I do like points in this game at 37.5. I'll gladly take the over on that one.
Okay. I am definitely in lockstep with you on that. So that means so far on the slate we're tying. I've got the Cowboys minus the 3.5. I like what I saw last week against the Commanders. They get to go play an inferior team in the Giants without their starting quarterback, who was Daniel Jones that they released. So I love that. And the over under set at 37 over on DraftKings. So if you're on the over, you'd want to be on DraftKings, so you don't have to worry about the hook. But over 37, like you said. These defenses are 4th and 5th worst against the run, respectively. Cowboys are 4th worst. Giants are 5th worst. Cowboys going to 19 touchdowns on the ground. The Giants are going about 12. So, I think we're going to see. And they both have – I mean, Dowdle hasn't been incredible, but he's been a solid, serviceable back. So, I think this game gets over. I think the number is just too low. It feels like a Titans game to me where it's like we're probably going to get to the over.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. So there you go. Like you said, that's 2 games back to back now, and we've been in lockstep. So obviously, we think we know how these games are going to go. Let us know in the comments if you guys, disagree with us and why, call us idiots or whatever. But we're profitable on this show for a reason. So just keep that in mind when you're gonna make a comment like that. But all right, you want to jump into your 4-pick parlay?
Yeah, I can do that. So for this one pays out a little bit more than my other one. I've got Rico Dowdle, 80 plus rushing yards. Obviously, like I said, they're the 5th worst team against the run. I've got Tyrone Tracy, 80 plus rushing yards. This is a very simple parlay, by the way. So both main running backs for 80 plus, and then both top receivers for 40 plus. So I got CeeDee Lamb for 40 plus receiving and Malik Neighbors for 40 plus receiving. This thing pays out plus 1,000.
Dang. That's pretty high for such a simple parlay, too.
Dowdle and Tracy were both plus money to hit this number. So I don't know if the book knows something I don't. But I just expect, especially Tracy, I'm very high on him for this game because the Cowboys suck against the run. 19 touchdowns, that's insane. And then 1,600 yards on the ground. and like that's 150 a game is what they're averaging giving up. So I love that. And then you've got a compromised quarterback. Give me the running backs all day.
Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. I went a little bit more conservative with mine. It doesn't pay out nearly as much as yours does, but I'll jump into mine. We
Okay.
got first off, we're on Malik Neighbors. We're not taking him for 40 like you did. We're taking him for 60 plus receiving yards. He's the number one option there. I don't know. This has to be a game where they're going to throw, like, even in games where you have really, like, just run heavy teams, they do still throw the ball a lot. And I think that, Malik Neighbors, like I've said about the last game, it's national TV. So, it's the big time. You got to show up and show out. He'll get his 60 plus yards right there. Then we got CeeDee Lamb, anytime touchdown. He's actually like insane plus money here. And like I've said before, number one receivers on a team that have shown that they're dominant in this league. I mean, like when you're getting almost plus 200 for him, I'm taking him almost every time. And then we got Tyrone Tracy, like you were talking about, 70 plus rushing and
Mm-hmm.
receiving yards. I threw the receiving yards in there too. He doesn't catch the ball a ton, but I mean, if he hits your 80, then we're easily cleared right there. And then we got CeeDee Lamb at 50 plus receiving yards, and that pays out plus 723. So that's Malik Neighbors at 60 plus. We got CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown. We got Tyrone Tracy 70 plus rushing and receiving yards, and then we got CeeDee Lamb 50 plus receiving yards to pay out plus
Okay.
723.
Is that on FanDuel?
Yeah, it's over on FanDuel.
Okay. Okay. The only thing I don't like on there is Lamb anytime touchdown. It's like I understand what you're saying, top receiver, yada yada, but also who's throwing in the ball.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but you got to understand, like we've seen it before. Like obviously earlier in the year we saw it with Miami when Tua was out. I mean, obviously, like what was his name, Thompson?
Sure.
Yeah, Thompson was the backup quarterback, and like Tyreek Hill fell off a cliff. But I mean, CeeDee Lamb, like I mean, if somebody gets a touchdown on that team, like the tight end isn't playing, like I mean, the ball has to go somewhere, and we've seen like the only person that I trust on that team to be able to make a big play with the football in his hands is CeeDee Lamb. So he could have two catches in this game, and I think one of them still goes for a touchdown,
Okay. Okay. Also,
especially if they're
to be
running all
fair,
over him.
it will be Cooper Rush's what, third game now?
Yeah, it'll be his third game.
So maybe he's getting more of a rapport there with the old CeeDee Lamb, and maybe they're able to make some things work. And because like the more you play, the more you can get into a rhythm. When your first game in, maybe you got some extra juice because you haven't played so long, so you're so excited. But then the second game, you kind of fall back a little bit. So maybe this is a game where he comes out and Cooper Rush plays good ball. I don't know.
Exactly, and we don't need him to play great. I mean, it's 50 yards and a touchdown for CeeDee Lamb. Like that's
And
not playing
Lamb's a
good
beast.
football.
Just needs a little chemistry with Cooper Rush, and he can get this.
Yep, exactly. All right, last game. I'll let you take it away. It's your team playing, so I'll let you take it away.
Okay, here we go, guys. Man, that Eagle is good. All right, so we got the Packers. It's in Lambeau Field, prime time, Thanksgiving night, iconic. The temp's it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be down in the 30s. Low of the day is supposed to be 28. Packers are 3.5-point favorites over on DraftKings. The over/under set at 47. Not sure if it's the same for Matt over on FanDuel, but that's the line for DraftKings. Packers coming off a good win last week. They've had a couple wins back to back now. I'm on the Packers heavy here, -3.5. I don't think it's nearly enough points for a Dolphins team playing in the cold. Tua has never won a game that's when the game starts is at below 40 degrees. That's going to be this game, so it just feels too easy to me. The Packers are hot right now. I get they threw the hook in there. I just don't think it's enough. I think the Packers are in a separate league than the Dolphins, so I trust that here. I like the Packers -3.5. And as far as over/under, I'm actually on the over. I don't think the Dolphins are going to come in and just do nothing. We saw them beat a good Rams team 2 Mondays ago, so I think they're going to come in and score some points. The Packers, in the end, just inevitably will score more points, and they'll cover, and we'll hit this over.
Okay, there you go, folks. There you have it. Those are Alan's predictions for Dolphins and Packers. We're not really surprised, I don't think, because he is a Packers fan. But I'll go now. I do see the game very similar to how you see it, where the Packers win. I'm
Okay.
definitely on the Packers -3.5. Like you said, that fun stat about Tua, how he hasn't won games at certain temperatures. Love that. We saw him last year in the playoffs against the Chiefs. He sucked. He bombed. And that was after a really good season with the Dolphins too. Like, one of the top passers in the league, and just fell apart because it's too cold. And like, when you're playing in those temperatures, you can't grip the ball. Your receivers can't catch the ball. It's everything. It's not just all on the quarterback, but it's also on the receivers. And when you're playing in a place like Florida all the time, where the weather's usually pretty nice, I mean, you're not used to that cold. You're not used to freezing temps like ever. So, uh, yeah, give me the Packers here, -3.5 in a cold game. Thanksgiving, like you said, Packers are on a heater right now. That's just going to keep going. I do think they're going to beat the Dolphins by quite a bit. But I'm not on the same side of you when it comes to the over under. This is the only disagreement that we've had so far. I'm
Hmm.
actually on the under of this game. It's a lot of points, and I trust the Packers to score a ton of points. I don't think they're going to have to, though. And I think they're going to struggle a little bit. Not like a ton, but it's going to be like, hey, they're going to score 30 points. Dolphins are only going to score 14. There's your 44. But I don't think it's getting up to the 47.5. And then you do get the half point there. I'm not sure if you do got that on over on DraftKings, but it's 47.5 on FanDuel.
Okay.
hmm But I like the under in this game. I don't think it's going to be an offensive showing by both teams. I think what will ultimately happen in this game is the Dolphins are going to struggle. Packers get touchdown, maybe two, and then they're just going to run it. And they're just going to run out the clock against the Dolphins defense.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
Well, there we have it.
There you have it.
Pretty simple.
hmm Four pick parlay. You want to jump into yours? You want me to go first?
Yeah, I can hop in first here. Okay, so I've got Jordan Love, 2+ passing touchdowns. He's had it in most games he's played this season. I think he's had a couple games, maybe two, where he's thrown one. But for the most part, he throws two, if not more. So I like him for 2+ passing touchdowns in this game. I like Josh Jacobs, 60+ rushing yards. He's been on a heater. He's done this in 7 straight games, by the way. So that is quite the tear to go on. And as the temps get colder, you run the ball more. The frozen tundra, yada yada. We get it. So 60+ for Josh Jacobs, coming off his 100-yard game with the 3 touchdowns. Then I like Devon Achane, 70, or Achane, however you say it, 75+ rushing plus receiving yards. I feel like that's super easy to get. He's had a bunch of games this year where he's gone over 100. I just like him to get to 75+. It's super easy. Let's get there, get the thing done. And then this one's a fun one. I got Brandon McManus, the kicker for the Packers, over 1.5 made field goals. It's a little minus money. It's like -105. He hasn't done it for the last 2 weeks, so I think he's due. Before that, he'd had it for 4 straight weeks, and then last two he has not had two. He's actually had nothing. So this week, I think he hits it. So over 1.5. This thing pays out +700.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, really weird. I think that's the first kicker's prop that we've had all year. Correct me if I'm wrong,
I
but
may have, I may have had one week 2 or 3.
okay. Yeah, well, definitely I haven't heard that in a while, but okay. McManus for two. You said two field goals, right?
2 field goals.
Okay. I actually kind of like that. It kind of plays with like how I see the game going, so I'm perfectly okay with that.
Okay,
But I'll
love
jump
it.
into mine. We got Devon Acham, anytime touchdown. Got to throw one in here. We love touchdowns. And then we actually have the same pick that you do. We have Jordan Love, 2+ passing touchdowns. The books are catching on too because he's actually minus money. The last like 2 weeks, I've looked at the line. He's actually been plus money, and now he's finally minus money. So you got minus money on that. Then we're also taking Tua for 2+ passing touchdowns. What they do a lot is Tua will pass the ball to Devon Achane. So I love that pairing right there. We get one touchdown out of the way, cuts a pass to Achane, and then Tua also gets one of his passing touchdowns. Love that there. And then we're also doing Jalen Waddle, 40+ receiving yards. Jalen Waddle's a solid number two there, but when you have a good secondary, which I'm pretty sure the Packers have a decent secondary, if not good, or
Sure.
sorry, good if not great, uh, they're going to be guarding, Tyreek. So I like Jalen Waddle to be able to get open. He's had a
Right.
couple good weeks in a row now, so let's stack it up with a third one, get him on the right track, and then that pays out plus 863.
860.
Yeah, 863. And the
Okay.
the book is definitely right where you are with the whole Tua struggles in games like this, and I agree with that too. And the only one that really worries me on that is the Tua 2+, but the money's too good to pass up. It's like almost plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
I
mean,
saw
we had
that. I
to
saw
we
that
had
too.
to throw it in there.
I think they're fading just the Dolphins in general as far as the prop market. I think they're fading the Dolphins in the cold,
hmm for sure.
but I don't know if that's smart.
I don't know either, but we'll see. I mean, I think it's smart for us to take. You know, when they're fading them, we can go on the opposite side of that and win a lot more money. So.
And yeah, like you were saying about interceptions, Packers have the 6th most interceptions in the league this year.
Hmm. So that secondary is good. So I'll give them credit
It's
for that, but they're gonna game plan that for Tyreek Hill. They're not gonna game plan it for Waddle.
right, but the only thing that concerns me with that is Waddle had a big game last week.
Yes, exactly. But it's like we talked about. So it's just that confidence. Like when your quarterback gets that confidence in you, it's like, okay, cool. Tyreek's not open. Okay, where's Waddle? Oh, he's open. Boom, there you go. And we only need 40 yards too. It's not like it's a lot of yards. It's just 40. Like I
Agreed.
think
No, no,
I
agreed.
think
It's
it can
like
I
you
think it
said,
can happen.
that's
But we'll
one.
see.
Realistically, that's one big play,
It's one big play for Waddle. Yeah.
and it's two normal, like decent, medium-sized plays. He gets a 20-yard catch, and another 20-yard catch, which is just a 10-yard pass, catch, run, and picks up 20. And next thing you know, you're like, all right, check it off the list.
Yep.
You know. So, okay, dude, I kind of like all of those. The only okay, I'll just say this, and I don't know if anyone, no one said it throughout the year to you except for me. No one in the comments has mentioned it. I don't like that you put so many dang touchdown scores in all these parlays. I don't feel like I get you do it because the odds are there and yada yada, but it's like I feel like half the time it screws your parlay.
Yes and no, because it's like, yeah, okay,
Like you have one in
that's the
every
only
single one of these.
that's like, oh yeah, no, it didn't hit because you threw the touchdown in there. But it's like, okay, but who else would you have thrown into that parlay, like for a prop? So it's like you could play to both sides of the coin if you want to. And it's like, yeah, I've lost so many because of the touchdown scores, but it's also like I could have lost it on every fourth pick that I'd throw in there too. So it's not like make or break. Oh, it's because of the touchdown
Yeah,
scores.
but
It's these guys need to start doing their job and get in the end zone. That's what it is. And the quarterbacks need to start doing their job of getting their receivers open, getting them into the end zone.
uh,
It's not on me. It's not my fault that these guys aren't scoring. Because all the guys that I take, normally it's like most people would be like, yeah, they probably get a touchdown this week. And guess what? They don't. So not on me. It's
I'm
on the
not saying.
team. It's on the scheme. It's on all of it. It's on all these O linemen catching touchdowns this year too, and then running backs having 3 or 4 touchdowns, and then quarterbacks just running it in that aren't even running quarterbacks, and they're getting rushing touchdowns. Like it's a lot, but it's been a fun year, and we're gonna keep it going. Like I love touchdown scores. They like this juice the parlays a lot when you throw them in there. Like it's not something I'll ever change. But I mean, I've had parlays that I've hit this year with touchdown scores. I've also hit parlays without touchdown scores. So it's it's a mixed bag, but it's a parlay for a reason. Like you got to have 4 things hit. That's why we love it. It keeps it
I
more
know, but I'm
exciting.
just saying, like, how much money are you losing people that are taking your because you're throwing in touchdown scores instead of just
Oh
throwing in
Lord,
something
yeah, here we go.
like you took Laporta for 40 plus. Why didn't you just take you got CD Lamb for an anytime touchdown and for 50 plus receptions? Why don't you just go take him for 5 catches and throw that in instead? And yeah, maybe it pays a touch less, but maybe it has a way better chance of hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I'm not trying to make plus 400 parlays. You know what I mean?
I mean, plus 400 is better than losing a
Hey, we'll
plus
see.
700.
Hey, you could talk to me about this next week if you want to, but you can't fault me for a bet that I made when it hasn't even cashed or not cashed yet. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm just saying to put a touchdown score in every single one. That's just
Yeah,
asking for trouble. That's just
it's
asking for trouble.
it's it's Thanksgiving Day football, baby.
Like I said, I'm the only one that's giving you crap for that. So
That's true.
I guess maybe the viewers don't care as much as I do. I just think it's very risky. That's all.
Hey, gambling is risky.
That's true. And if you ain't risking it, then you're probably not gonna, if you not nothing ventured, nothing gained, as they say.
There you go. I like that. All right. Moving on, we're gonna jump into. You want to do the props? Or you want to do the touchdown first?
I got the prop first on mine and then touchdown. So
All
let's
right,
do prop first.
let's do prop first then. I'll start off with mine first. We're like so we talked about this a little bit before the show, and we said we
Yep.
decided kind of like these prop parlays. We're only gonna have 3 picks in this prop parlay. So obviously,
Correct.
as you guys know, we throw in 4 picks, and we try to get it around like 500 to 1,000. Harder to do when you only have 3 picks because you don't have that extra fourth pick to juice it. So we kind of said, hey, let's kind of stretch a little bit and kind of have a couple of reach picks in here. So that's what we're going to try to do a little bit and try to juice it up a little bit more. So first off, going Cooper Rush, 2+ passing touchdowns for the Cowboys. Like you said, it's his third start now. He's juiced with the team a little bit more. They just had a big win last week. I think they're going to come into this game. Hopefully, he's on one and a couple passing touchdowns. Love that there. Then we got Amon-Ra St. Brown, 80+ receiving yards. I think he's going to have a big game. He is the number one over there. I think him and Laporta will be the 2 main guys here. We'll see. Jameson Williams is always there lingering where he's ready to vulture an 80-yard touchdown. Uh, and then we got Jalen Waddle for 50+ receiving yards. pretty easy. Like I said, in my 4 pick, I took him for 40. Like I said, we're just bumping it up a little bit. We're not going like, oh, we're going to take a quarterback for 4+ passing touchdowns. We're not going crazy to the moon. We still want these things to hit. We still want to be realistic. So we got Jalen Waddle 50+ receiving yards, and that parlay pays out plus 1,324, which is one of my
I'm
bigger
guessing
ones for a
I'm
three
guessing
pick parlay.
the big one that juiced it was Cooper Rush to throw 2 touchdowns.
Yep, all three of the picks are plus money.
Okay.
Yeah, Cooper Rush
Okay.
was plus 220. You got Jalen Waddle at plus 114, and then you had Amon Ra for plus 108.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. Not bad. And especially if we think it's going to be higher scoring than the book thinks it is by setting that at 37, we could get a couple throws from old Cooper Rush. All right, for mine, this one's simple. I kept it simple, okay? It's just I'm taking 3 running backs, one from each game. I've got Jahmyr Gibbs, 125 plus rushing and receiving. Okay, they're playing the Bears. The Bears defense is overrated. They're middle of the league against the run, and they're middle of the league against the pass. It's an overrated defense. They were supposed to be top 10 in both categories. They are not. Next, I've got Tyrone Tracy, 100 plus rushing plus receiving, taking on, as we said, the Cowboys, who are the 4th worst against the run. And then I have Devon Achane taking on the Packers, who actually are a top 10 rush defense, but I'm counting more on the receiving than the rushing. I got Achane 100 plus rushing plus receiving. This thing pays out plus 1561.
Okay, that's pretty big right there. You're just taking I like how simple it is, where you did 100, 100, and then 125.
Yep.
And who is the one that you took for 125? You
Jahmyr
took
Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs, who is, my only issue with that pick is the fact that Detroit's the only freaking team that does this, but they have 2 stud running backs and they use them
Right.
like pretty, 50-50 it seems like. So, but if somebody's going to break off this 70-yard run, which will get you halfway there pretty much, I mean, it's going to be Gibbs, in my opinion.
That's what I'm
Because
counting on.
Montgomery's the bruiser. It's Sonic and Knuckles, and Knuckles is definitely David
Yep.
Montgomery. So,
Yep. Agreed. And I was looking through his stats on the season, and he's gotten to 125 actually, like I think 6 of their games out of the 11 they've played.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like it
So
a
it's like
lot.
50% hit rate, and then on Thanksgiving Day we're trying to make a statement here against a Bears team that isn't that good. Yeah, I think I like you on this day.
Yeah, it could be a very embarrassing game for the Bears, for sure.
It could. I hope it. I hope the Bears win. I'm betting against that. I'm betting on the Lions. I hope the Bears win because the Packers. We only have 3 losses. We're only 2 games behind the Lions. Like I need the Lions to lose a couple games. So hey, why not to the Bears on Thanksgiving? Go ahead. But
Well,
I just don't see that happening. And
yeah,
I'm not gonna.
exactly.
I can hope it, but the smart money is bet on the team that's been dominating everybody.
You bet with your brain, and then you hope with your heart.
You hope with your heart. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, next we
Oh,
got our touchdown parlay. We got our Turkey Day touchdown parlay to pay all day. Like that, if you guys were sick and tired of the puns, or you guys were like, hey, they're not doing anything else, it's Thanksgiving. Like, hey, there you go. You're welcome. I did it. Got another one coming. Don't worry about it. Uh, Touchdown parlay here for the 3 games. Just take one from each. Same thing we did with the prop parlay. Um, if you guys are new, this is what we do for our Sunday video. If you guys are, old, you guys know this. Just kind of this little mock-up one for the 3 games that we have on Thanksgiving. We're going Christian
correct.
Watson for the Packers to score a touchdown. Obviously, Christian Watson, he's kind of been hit or miss, especially when it comes to the end zone, when it comes to receiving yards. The thing with the Packers is they have so many weapons on that team, like that they're all deep threats. They can all get 60-yard touchdowns, and then they can also all just play short field too. So it just kind of depends on if it's his day or not. But I like Christian Watson here in this spot. And then we got David Montgomery. Obviously, he's the favorite in that game. David Montgomery's the bruiser. They get close or even 20-yard line red zone. It's going to be David Montgomery. It normally is. And then we got Tyrone Tracy. I mean, like you said, he's a plus 150 too, by the way. Everybody in this, if you guys like the Giants and Cowboys game to go over, I'd recommend looking at touchdown scores because everybody is plus money. There's nobody at minus money in that game. And he's a plus 150. Like we said, bad running defense. That parlay pays out plus 1144 over on FanDuel.
That's it.
1144. That's it.
Wow.
Hey, keep it realistic.
Huh.
I mean, you
That's
got
very
plus 220 on Christian Watson, and then you have minus 180 on Montgomery. So
Okay, well there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear something crazy?
Oh, here we go. Tell me.
You almost had my exact touchdown parlay, except one pick.
Oh, okay. Can I guess the pick?
Sure.
See, I wanted to. Oh, yeah. No, it has to be Christian Watson, right? You went with like Jaden Reed or something.
Nope.
Oh, you have Christian Watson on yours.
I do have Christian
All
Watson,
right,
yeah.
let me know yours. Let me hear it.
All right, so I got Christian Watson like you do. I
Okay.
have Tyrone Tracy like you do.
Oh, okay.
And instead of Montgomery, like you took, I took Jamison Williams.
Oh, okay. You went for the extra juice on that.
He's plus 200 on
Yeah.
DraftKings.
And David Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs are both minus.
Right, and so that parlay pays out plus 1758.
Okay. Nice. There you go. I was wondering because you said, "Oh, only 1100." I was like, "Whoa, what do you have then
Yeah,
on
yeah,
yours?"
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were about to hit me
yeah.
with a 4000.
No, 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 no,
And
no,
then I
no.
was gonna say, "Whoa, I
I'm
thought we
going,
were talking
I'm
about
going that
losing the
deep
fans'
down the
money.
list.
Like, what are we doing?" Throw that one reverse, play the Uno reverse card right there, and be like, "Oh, excuse me,
Oh man,
receipts,
reverse,
please,
reverse. Yeah.
receipts." Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So Jameson Williams, Christian Watson, Tyrone Tracy. Matt's got Christian Watson, David Montgomery, Tyrone Tracy. So we're locked in on Tyrone Tracy and Christian Watson. Christian Watson also he dropped a 60-yard touchdown last week. He beat both DBs. Well, he beat the DB and he beat the safety on a go ball. It was perfectly right in his hands, and it just bounced off his hands. Like he was even just like, oh, and then walked to the sideline. But it was just a go ball, go route. He had it. So I think this week he gets in the end zone on a deep ball.
I
So
mean, they have to call that same play, right? At some point.
I mean, he's the speedster on the team. Like he's the deep threat that runs a crazy route and boom, he gets open. So I think as the season gets deeper, they're going to be looking for him to do that more often. He did that a bunch last season. He had a bunch of those against the Cowboys in the not touchdowns, but just deep balls in that Cowboys playoff game last year, and I think he had one against the Niners as well. But um, in the playoffs last season. So when it seems to be the Packers are always better once November hits because it starts to get cold and we get better. And Christian Watson, he started to come up pretty big in the November and December months last couple seasons. So I expect big things from him, and it's a big game. It's on Thanksgiving. Let's go dunk on the Dolphins. Let's go. We got to keep pace here. So I expect a big game from the boys.
Alrighty. All right, next we're going into our teaser. Like I said, we had another like little fun. I don't think it's really a pun, just kind of like a play on words because of the holiday coming up. We got
Here we
our
go.
6 point, six pick, sick stomach, sloppy seconds, sinful teaser. There you go. How do you guys like that one? If you guys need explanations, sick stomach, obviously. You have a sick stomach, you've been eating all day. If you're an adult and you're old enough, you've been drinking all day too. You got a sick stomach, you've been watching football, feel a little lethargic. It's awesome. Love Thanksgiving. Sloppy seconds. Your plate's already messy from all the turkey, the side dishes, all that. Your second plate is just always sloppy regardless. And then sinful teaser. Now, the sinful part here, you feel like you committed a sin because you ate so much food. You feel like you have to go to the gym, all this other stuff. You feel sinful. You feel like, oh, dude, I just feel gross. It's okay. It's Thanksgiving. That's what we're supposed to do. You can also feel, like you're sinning a little bit too because you're making so much money on that day while you're not working. So, shout out to football. Shout out to all the betting sites that we use and all the ones out there. Let's win a lot of money this week. We got our 6 point, six pick teaser. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. We're
Sure.
taking the over in the Lions game. That's going on
Whoa,
there.
whoa, 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 whoa,
What?
whoa, 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 whoa. I had my own little name for this one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. See, now you're hitting me
It's
with
not
the
it's
with the
not it's
side
not
action.
nearly as long as yours, but I
Oh, okay.
figured, this is the final game of the night, right? All the food's been eaten. We've eaten
Well,
our
it's not the
main
final
course.
game, but it's the final bet that still has to hit.
Well, yeah, but we're at the end of the video. So it's
Okay.
the end
Okay.
of the Thanksgiving, right? So what does that leave you with? This is our dessert treat teaser.
Okay, I like that. It's the dessert.
So put some whipped cream on top of this puppy. Tell me what you got.
All right. I got the over in the Lions game. We're teasing that down. You got to tease it down a little bit to 42 and a half. Like we said, we think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I think everybody does. It's the Lions. Love that. And then we're teasing the Lions down to minus 4.5. We like them at minus 10.5. Why wouldn't we like them at 4.5? We do think they're going to
Okay.
win this game. We'd be really shocked if the Bears won this game. The Bears would get a lot of buzz if they do win this game. And then we got the over 31.5. We're teasing that down from 37.5. over 31.5 in the Giants Cowboys game, and we're taking the Giants at plus 9.5.
Ooh.
I don't trust the Cowboys that much. They're going to win this game by more than a touchdown. And then for the
Okay.
Packers game, we like the under. We're sticking with it. We're teasing that up. So the under will now be at 53.5. And like we said, we think the Packers will score a lot of points. Not so sure about the Dolphins. And then we're going to tease the Packers to plus 2.5. And there's your 6.6 pick teaser.
Okay, so you've got Lions over 42.5, the Lions -4, the over 31 on the Cowboys game, Giants plus 9.5, Packers plus 2.5, and Packers under 53.5.
Yep.
Okay. We basically have the same one except for, so I didn't say this when I was picking the other games, but so my picks for the whole day, all the favorites, all the overs. And that's
Okay.
what I'm teasing. So I got Lions -4, over 42.5, Cowboys plus 2.5, over 31, Packers plus 2.5, over 41. I don't have to deal with the extra half point over here on DraftKings, so the number's a touch lower.
Okay.
Um, and that's what I've got. So just think favorites and overs, and that's the teaser.
Mm-hmm. I will say that's the only one because you did, like you said, lockstep with each of your picks. You just teased them.
Yep.
Like for me, I switched it up a little bit. I went with the Giants, switched that one. That was the only one that I actually switched, but I switched it there with the Giants and took the Giants because I like the Cowboys to win that game. I like their line at -3.5, but I decided to go with the Giants there just because you get the extra 9.5 points. Where I don't think the Cowboys will win by 9.5. So
I was tempted to take the Giants for almost 10 points, but what kept me away from it was just the fact that the Giants suck. They have sucked. And even with Saquon, they barely ever beat the Cowboys. So you're going to give me, and I understand there's no Dak, but there's no Daniel Jones. If Daniel Jones was in this game, I
yeah,
don't even think the Cowboys would even be favored.
no, they would not be.
But you're in Jerry World and they just dominate. I can't think of a game where the Giants actually beat the Cowboys. So give me the Cowboys plus 2.5. They can even lose by 2, and I'm chilling. But I don't think they lose this game at all. So I feel good about it. And then, like I said, I'm on the over anyway. So over 31 feels like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, no, I love the
I
over
think this
31.
this game could be surprisingly fun for the afternoon game,
Hmm.
and it wouldn't shock me.
It should be, hopefully, because that's usually when everybody's starting to eat.
Yeah, bro.
Hmm.
Or you going back for that second plate? Shane.
Could be. Depends on if you're a slow eater or a fast eater.
Yeah.
And on Thanksgiving, I feel like everybody's a fast eater. But that's just me, and that's just us. That's just the video. Appreciate you guys for stopping by, giving us a little bit of your time before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, depending on when you're watching the video. Uh, but yeah, I mean, that's all that we got. Enjoy Thanksgiving, eat a lot of food, win a lot of money, stay safe, protect the bag, beat the book, all the good stuff. We'll see you guys in our next video, whenever that may be. Anything else you want to add to that, Al?
Yeah, just all I would say is like give thanks to God and be thankful for your family. Hang out with them, have a good time. Watch a lot of football, eat a lot of great food. Let's hit a ton of bets, and let's keep the thing going, man. I'm excited.